Ashoka, the king who found peace amid chaos. The battlefield was silent now. The cries had faded, the clash of swords had ceased, but the air hung heavy with death. Emperor Ashoka, the mighty ruler of the Mauryan Empire, stood alone, his golden armor stained with the blood of countless lives. Before him lay the kingdom of Kalinga, defeated, destroyed, and lifeless. Victory, they called it. But as Ashoka stepped over the bodies of soldiers and villagers alike, it didn't feel like a triumph. He had conquered Kalinga. But what had he truly won? He paused, his gaze falling on an old man cradling a lifeless boy, perhaps his grandson. The man's face was hollow, his eyes vacant. A few steps away, a young woman clung to a tree, tears streaming silently down her face as she stared at the bodies of her family. Ashoka felt a strange sensation clawing at his chest. He had known battle, brutality, and ambition, but this was unbearable. That night, as he sat alone in his grand tent, the cheers of his soldiers echoing faintly in the distance, Ashoka couldn't escape the images. They haunted him, the bodies, the wails, the blood. His hands trembled as he picked up a goblet of wine, but he couldn't drink. For the first time in his life, Ashoka, the conqueror, the warrior, the emperor, felt powerless. Back in his capital, Pataliputra, Ashoka was a changed man. Days turned into weeks, and his anguish deepened utter. Well, what is the point of ruling the world, he asked his ministers one day, if it means bringing suffering to others? It was during one of his restless wanderings through the city that he encountered a serene monk sitting under a tree. The monk's eyes held no fear, no judgment, only peace. Drawn to this calmness, Ashoka sat before him and asked, "How do you find peace when the world is so cruel?" The monk smiled softly. "Peace comes not from conquering others, but from conquering oneself." Thus began Ashoka's journey of transformation. The once ruthless emperor became a disciple of the Buddha's teachings. He spent months learning the path of compassion, non-violence, and self-restraint. Slowly, he began to implement these principles across his empire. Ashoka's empire, once built on the blood of the vanquished, became a haven for the living. He banned unnecessary killings, established hospitals, and planted trees along roadsides for travelers. Stone pillars, inscribed with messages of morality, kindness, and unity, were erected throughout his lands. Dhamma, as he called it, became the new law of the land. But Ashoka didn't stop there. He sent emissaries far and wide to Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia, and beyond, spreading the message of peace. His once warring empire became a source of harmony, influencing cultures and religions for centuries to come. And so, the man who began as Ashoka the Fierce became Ashoka the Great, a king remembered not for the battles he fought, but for the peace he forged.